If you trust. All right, everybody, it's Manny Foxx, and today we are so excited to have Sir LAMAR Stingley visiting us. And our subject today is real estate, relationships, and Black History Month, and the empowerment of men and women. So we're going to get our show started as you all are starting to chime in. Thank you so much for connecting with us today. We greatly appreciate it. And we are going to first recognize those of you on the front lines, out there in the grocery stores, in the military, just doing the best that you can do to make sure that everybody is safe and okay. All you cities and states out there, as you start chiming in, know that we're masked up. We are making sure that we're being safe when we're out in the streets doing what we do every single day. So with that being said, we're going to remove our masks so we can get this show, get this party started. And I'm so very excited to once again have Sir LAMAR Stingley here with us today. Keller Williams and 100 Black Men. Power, inspiration, and an all-around gentleman. So LAMAR, welcome to the show.
Glad to be here.
Yes, yes.
Glad to be here.
So we want to talk about the real estate world first. You know, how is everything going in the norm? Let's talk about the norm, and then we'll talk about the unusual.
Well, you know what? What's is normal for what's going on right now? Even though COVID-19 is out there, the real estate market in Las Vegas is actually booming. People would think that it's slowed down, but it has not. For us as agents, we out there. The process has changed because we have to be safe for our clients. So a lot of things that we used to do in person, we now do that remotely. Contracts we now sign remotely. If you want to do a showing our house, we do that remotely. So we do everything we can to make sure it's safe for the clients, safe for ourselves, and safe for the homeowners.
Okay.
So the process has changed, but we're still selling houses.
Still selling houses. So the Vegas market is still happening.
Absolutely.
Yes?
Absolutely.
California.
Yeah.
New York, Atlanta.
A lot of people moving here, for sure.
Yes, yes. So pretty soon we're going to be really busy because we want to make sure we get some more water in that reservoir, right?
No comment.
No comment. You have the states out there, you need to send some water to Las Vegas to make sure we're okay out there in the beautiful, beautiful Hoover Dam. Now, LAMAR is jumping me here, but we're going to talk about these beautiful glasses. Bring it back. We have our sparkling water. Cheers to all of you watching. We talked about our glasses last week, and those of you chimed in to vote on what it was I actually paid for the glasses. You know, you need to send me your information so you can get the little gift that I was going to send you. You know, last week, I did a little, how much do you think I paid for these glasses?
I'm not going to say anything.
And many of my viewers were like, oh, we know you're a bargain shopper. You got them for a good price. And, you know, we got down to the price. And we
Two things a man knows not to do. If a woman says, how old do I look? You better not answer. How much does she pay for that? You better not answer. Leave that alone.
So, LAMAR, look, real estate. You said Las Vegas is booming despite of what everything is happening in the world today. But I like to kind of paint a picture to a person that wants to be a new homeowner. Mm-hmm. Like, what are some of the first steps they should prepare themselves for before they come to you?
Well, the main thing is if you have decided that you want to become a homeowner, when you decide you want to do that, you have to have a commitment in yourself that when you finally reach out to a realtor's goal is going to get you to the finish line. But we can't do that without the client. So a lot of times the client will come before they're prepared themselves. So then we're trying to move you forward, and we don't want to be pushy, but our goal is you told us what you want us to do for you, and we try to do that. So we're always trying to guide you along the way. So what I try to tell people is before you come to myself, just know that when you get to me, I'm going to put everything in place for you, and I'm going to start that process. I'm going to pat you on the butt as we go along to get you to the finish line. My goal is to make sure you're in a happy house that you want to have.
Okay.
So it's just really just as long as you mentally know what you're about to do, and it's just a step process. Buying a house is not complicated. It's just steps.
Okay. Would you suggest to a person to have at least maybe 2 or 3 types of homes that they may be interested in, like single family homes, 2-story homes, a condo? What is it they're looking for to kind of have that mapped out as well before they get to you?
I would say before you reach out to a realtor, have an idea of the side of town you want to live on.
Okay.
or have an idea. Even if that's not important, at least have an idea of what the house is that you're looking for. You want the pool? Do you want upstairs, downstairs? Do you want a flat? Do you want a lot of property? Or do you want, there's so many different variables. So you just want to have a good idea of what you want. And don't worry about price. Don't worry about your credit. All that stuff is those are challenges that we are set to overcome. So if your credit is not perfect, I have someone that can help you get you there. If you're not sure how much you can how much you're gonna get for the house, how much you want to get for your house, I have someone that's gonna find out how much you'll qualify for. So I'm a one-stop shop. I get everything done for you. All you need to do is call me, and then I'll get everything done for you.
Wow, that's a interesting process.
It is.
Yeah, so those of you who are watching, if you're just chiming in, let's talk about it with Minnie Foxx. Our special guest today is Lamar Stingley, 100 Black Men, and Keller Williams Real Estate. So some people say, I want to be a real estate agent, and you want to be a realtor. Can you tell us the difference between a realtor and a real estate agent?
A real estate agent is the person who just passed the test. That's all they've done. They don't have any other requirements for being a realtor. A realtor is it's like being an actor and then being in the Actors Guild. So once you sign the guild, that means you can actually be given parts and you're in part of that union. So realtor means you're part of the overall profession of realtors. Have access to things that just a regular agent doesn't. So you have more resources to you, more things you can help the client with.
Okay.
So that's really the main difference. Is a realtor is usually is a more professional person. As with anything, there's going to be people who don't do what they're supposed to do, but a realtor is generally going to be the more professional of the two people that you discuss with.
Okay. So we're just going to pause real quick just to say hello to those of you who have chimed in. As you know, I like to say chimed in. Derek Moody, hello. Miss Linda Clemens, Kevin, how are you? Hope all is well. If you have questions for Mr. Stingley, please just put them right into the comments. He's here to answer any of your questions about real estate, your finance side of the real estate as well. And what do you do when you're trying to buy a home? Where should you look? How should you look? What are some of the things you should prepare yourself for? And that's what we're talking about. The second half of the show, we're going to talk about relationships. So, ladies and gentlemen, get your pen and a notebook, because a piece of paper won't be enough.
We're going to keep it interesting.
Yes. So, I've always been interested in trying to bring someone on. Derek, it says I could bring you on camera. If you're willing to come on camera, chime in and let me know. And I will click the button. We're always kind of curious to see how that works out. And that would be interesting. Yeah. All right, so in the real estate game, let's talk about what it's like when a person goes through the steps and now they're actually getting ready to move into their home. What is that delivery like?
Each agent has their own process. Some are all about like the gifts, and for me, I'm more about making sure the process makes you happy, make sure the process went well for you, and obviously when you get ready to buy the house, I make sure that you get your keys on time. I help you organize. You got to turn your power on. You got to change the power from where you live to where you're going to. So all the things that most people forget about, I make sure all that goes through without a hitch for you. So I'll give you a list of things that you need to do as well, so you know that your whole process is going to be, well, I left this house and I'm already home in my new house, and I don't have any headaches because I planned effectively.
Oh, okay. That's very helpful.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's very helpful. Yeah. Do you do that personal touch, or you have someone that helps you, that assists you to make sure your clients are taken care of?
It's all of us, me, myself, and I.
Oh.
Right. Yeah. I have a team of people behind me, but they're my lenders, part of my team.
Okay.
So it's a team, but I'm the one who takes care of the client.
Me and myself. I think there's a song, Me, Myself, and I. Yeah, you might want to play that as your theme song the next time you come on the show.
I like my theme song, The Truth.
So, theme song. Speaking of theme songs, you heard The Truth by Anthony Hamilton in the beginning, and we want to talk about why is that such an important song to Sir Lamar Stingley. I call him Sir Lamar Stingley, so the world will begin to call him that. He fits that bill because he is indeed a gentleman, a very powerful gentleman here in Las Vegas that those of you out there need to get to know, especially if you're interested in the real estate game. What about this Anthony Hamilton?
That song has been my favorite song almost since the first time I heard it. The song is called The Truth, and the title kind of should indicate something to you. The song is really about being a man's man, being truthful to your woman, being truthful to yourself as a man, being respectful, owning up to if you make a mistake. Don't make certain mistakes, but if you make a mistake, own up to it, and give the woman the love that she should receive. Because if you do that, she'll give you the same thing in return. That's the truth.
That's the truth. Wow, Anthony Hamilton thought of all that.
Yeah, it's a beautiful song. It's my favorite song for sure.
And I'm sure it's an amazing album.
Oh yeah, I mean Anthony Hamilton is my favorite artist, but this was his. I think that's his second or third album.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Linda, Kevin, and Derek, if you have something to say something. I see you others out there are peeking and watching, but you haven't checked in yet. Many of you do that, and then later on, you're posting in the comments. Be sure to type in whatever questions you may have. As you are looking in the comments, you will be able to see Mr. Stingley's contact information. It's also in our post. So this way you'll have an opportunity to reach him. But with that being said, tell us, what is your contact information, like your website and email where people can reach out to you?
Sure. This is Lamar Stingley, LAMAR, last name Stingley, STINGLEY. Phone number is going to be 702-204-0787. Again, 702-204-0787. My website is Lamar Sells, SELLS, Vegas.kw.com. So LamarSellsVegas.kw.com. And my email address is the same, LamarSellsVegas@gmail.
Lamar Sells Vegas. How about that? Did someone help you with that? You figured that out all on your own.
I figured that all by myself. All three of us, me, myself, and I.
And it's the sales, the S-A or the S-E?
S-E.
S-E.
Sales.
Sales, like sales. You guys get it, the sales,
Yeah.
right? So the real estate game is very interesting. Now, when one is talking about buying property, like a house, a condo, a townhouse, or they want commercial real estate, what is the difference between commercial real estate and real estate that is residential?
Well, obviously residential is the place you call home, and commercial is the place that most people call my job, my business, where I go to earn the money so I can pay for my home.
Okay.
So that's the real difference. And most agents don't do both. You're either going to do commercial or you're going to do single family homes, residential. Some do both, but they are very different animals. So most, like I said, if you're going to deal with your commercial properties, you want to make sure you get a commercial agent who specializes in that, because that's going to be a much more finite product, and you're going to be there's a lot more liability in that product because it's a business. So you not only there's business insurance, what you're doing in that business. There's a lot of different what's the word I'm looking for? Documents that you have to sign as far as legalities to make sure you're living up to Nevada standards. So whereas a home, you just got to buy the house and keep it 100 with that.
And excuse me for just a minute, because Lamar was waving his hand way over somewhere, and he said, let me look for it. So I'm just wondering, is there something on the other side of the room that you were looking for? Because I don't see anything over there where you were pointing, and you...
No,
I'm being funny. I didn't see anything on the other side of the room, so I thought I'd get up and see if I could try and figure out what he was looking for. So I just walked around the whole room, and I didn't see anything. So I don't know what Lamar was pointing over there. He said, I can't think about it. And what's the word I'm looking for? So I was looking to see where the word for it was. I thought I'd get up and look for the word and come back.
Man, look, you got me looking like, what you talking about? Okay.
I'm looking for the word. Okay. All right. So interesting. Now, is commercial real estate? Would you say that that's going very well here in Vegas, or it's not?
You know what? I myself, I don't deal with commercial real estate. I usually pass that on to someone else in my brokerage.
Okay.
But Vegas has been the fastest growing state in the nation for the last 20 something years. I think we fell down to number 2 or 3 over the last couple of years.
Okay.
But obviously we all know 2020 is a little bit of an anomaly. So they think that Vegas is going to come back for 2021, will be the fastest growing state again. So commercial real estate is definitely a lucrative business. I don't dive in it, so I can't speak too deep on it.
Okay. So I had a question for you, because you're the perfect person to ask this question, and some people get it a little confused. Fancy apartment, condo.
Well,
what's the difference?
here's the thing. in Vegas, like Vegas is kind of unique with this.
Uh-huh.
Unless the newer condos that were built from condos from the ground up,
Right.
those are, I won't say they're nicer, but they're built a little different.
Okay.
Whereas the older condos are, for the most part in Vegas, they're apartments that someone bought, upgraded the insides, and now they're condos. So most of the condos in Vegas are 25, 20 years old that were apartments back in the day.
Okay.
So that's a majority of what that is.
Okay. So if you're just tuning in, we are talking about the real estate game here in Las Vegas with Sir Lamar Stingley of Keller Williams. Now, what he doesn't know is that back in my heyday in California, I was the go-to person for the open houses in Los Angeles. I had a lady friend that worked for Keller Williams, and so I was her little triple threat. When she would do her open houses, I'd come in with a team, and we had the host that walked around that kind of showed you where to go, you know, served you wine and got your hors d'oeuvres and showed you around the house, and then she would come and add her icing to the cake and do her thing. But it was a way for her to kind of relax and spend more time with her client because she didn't have to figure out what she was doing. We had all the ambiance handled and made it really comfy, cozy. So I'm just putting the plug in, you know, just in case you get an open house, you know, I'm just putting my plug in.
We can do them again. Right now we can't do them. Everything is a virtual open house.
I know, isn't it interesting?
It's a little different.
It is. So speaking of that, tell us about these virtual open houses.
So basically, what you do is when you find a house you want to do an open house at, you do an ad, similar to what Manny's doing right now with this show. You advertise it, and you host it, and then you set it up so that when someone calls and says, hey, I'd like to see this house, you can either walk them through the house, or me, I'm kind of a techie, so I've already filmed a video that's going to show you the whole house. So you can kind of walk through, you can see all the rooms. I'll explain the rooms. I'll give you the square footage of the house, the amenities of the area, so that you know, okay, if I live in this house, the gym's this far away, the bar's this far away, the 7-Eleven's this far away, the Walmart's this far away, so that you have an idea in the schools also. So you have an idea that the neighborhood, what you're going to get out of this neighborhood, not only the house. Because when you buy a house, you kind of buy the whole neighborhood. And people have to understand that you're not buying just that one piece of land, you're buying everything around it. Okay. So that's kind of an important thing to think about when you buy a house.
It is, because when I moved here to Las Vegas many years ago, I was started in Henderson, and the area that I was in, it was beautiful. Just everything was brand new. The condos were amazing, and I was like, "Where's Walmart? Where's Big Lots? I need Target. Hey, where's my little stores?" I was looking for Wendy's, you know, and amazingly so, they were all on one street. You know, about 2 blocks up and 3 blocks down, everything was there. So I noticed that a lot of the housing areas here in Vegas have these communities.
Master plan communities.
Yes, and like some have Smith's on one corner, Albertsons is on the other corner, Walmart's on the other corner, and everything you want is within walking distance from your house almost. You know, it's kind of amazing how they do that.
Something I do also with my clients when they're looking to buy a house, I'll provide them a market report. It gives them an idea. It tells them what schools are in the area, the quality of the schools, how far the nearest store is. Like I said, they'll get a piece of paper that I provide to them, or I'll email it to them. Okay. It gives them all that information as well, so they have an idea of the neighborhood that they're looking at. So that's another additional benefit that I try to do. I try to make sure that my clients have a full picture while they're making this decision on their house.
Wonderful. Well, I want to give a shout out to Floyd Boatman, who just joined in with us, and Greg, thank you for joining in. Can you all chime back and let us know what state or city you're watching from? I know one of you are from Ohio. There's 2 of you on here that are from Nevada. So if you could let us know, we always like to give a shout out to the city and the state, and hopefully you can hear us real good. And we look forward to whatever questions you may want to ask. We're talking about real estate here in Las Vegas. Now we're going to throw this at Lamar real quick. Single family home, 2-story home.
Personal preference.
And what's the difference?
Well, a single family home is just a title for the home that any person buys. So all single family homes.
Okay.
A 2-story obviously means you're buying a house that has 2 stories. In Vegas, so you have 3 stories now that you can get in Vegas, or a flat, which is 1 level. So you have flat, 2-story, and 3-story. 3 stories are, I will say, they're becoming more popular currently.
Really?
Yeah. They're built a little differently because they don't build out; they're building up. So each floor, like your master bedroom, could be the whole third floor. I've seen some with the kitchen on the middle floor, the kitchen with the entertainment area up there, and then the first floor is kind of the living room or maybe a guest bedroom. Mm-hmm. So each builder builds it a little bit differently. I've even seen some that have the basements. So there's homes all the way on the north side that have basements.
Interesting.
So, anything you want, we can find it for you in Vegas.
Okay. And so what if a person is interested? And I know you're going to be biased because he works for Keller Williams. Now, by the way, Keller Williams has
number one brokerage in the country.
Look, you see, he think I don't know my homework. I gotta bring you here, and I don't know my homework. Mm-hmm. Yes, you're number one. So, of course, he's going to be biased. But if you were a person that just love working with people and making sure dreams come true in that arena, and you really wanted to have someone to have a wonderful experience in homes, okay, that's just something you just love to do. Mm-hmm. And so you went to school. Mm-hmm. What are two of the schools? I know two of them. Let's see if he say the same two that I do, that are very powerful and popular, that most new students go to learn their craft.
I mean, the number one school in Vegas is the Real Estate School of Southern Nevada. It used to be called Wardley, but they've been bought out, so it's now the Real Estate School of Southern Nevada, and the second most popular is Key Realty. So those are the two that probably 85% of us went to.
Okay.
And once you become an agent, you have to do this thing called continued education. Probably 95% of us go to Key Realty for continued education. So Key Realty specializes in that as well. Okay.
So your choices, though, okay, so Keller Williams is here, and just because another real estate company is here, what are like, let's say, the top 5?
So here's
where a person can have choices.
So here's what I think. When you pick your brokerage, the good thing about real estate, mm-hmm. Once you get your license, you don't go to the job and they're hiring you. You go to them to hire. You're trying to see, do you want to work where they are? Okay. So it's kind of a reverse role as a realtor. So for me, I'm really big into tech, okay. And as we know, every industry is being affected by technology. Tech and real estate is one of those. So for me, I wanted to get into a real estate brokerage that was very technology active and doing things to keep us ahead of the game. Okay. And I'll give you a good example. So everyone's heard of Zillow. Most common citizens think Zillow is a good place to go look at homes and see what they can see. It's a place to look, but Zillow is about accurate about 25% of the time. Okay. So I'll give you an example. So let's say you're looking at a house. You say, hey, Lamar, I see this house on Zillow. It's 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, $300,000. It's in a nice area. I like to go look at this house. So I'll look on the platform that I have, mm-hmm. and I'll find, that house sold 3 months ago. And you'll see it on Zillow. Well, I'm looking at it right now. So Zillow is not a good, or another thing that happens all the time. Hey, I saw a house on Zillow for $400,000. I like to go look at it. So then when I go look at it, I'm like, the house is $445,000. So Zillow has and if you look on Zillow, there's a disclaimer on there that says we are. How's it? They word it specifically. Zillow is not it just says Zillow is a resource, right, and expects some errors.
And it can't be held accountable. That's what I mean. It can't be held accountable.
Whereas if it comes from me, it's 100% accurate every time, and that's a fact.
Okay, wonderful. So I'm going to ask either Derek, Linda, or Floyd Boatman to make a comment, because I think I hit something on here where it's not giving me what I want to see. And if you could just make a comment so I know this is running good, then that would be perfect for me.
Show us some love, folks. Show us some love.
That would be great. So with that being said, we're going to talk about the 100 Black Men for a moment. Tell us initially what they are all about, and then let us know what and why you decided to join them.
100 Black Men is an organization that really bases on helping black men become accountable for their actions, become better men overall. If you are willing to accept our own shortcomings, we are we are prone to fall into traps of the history of what we've done, and sometimes it prevents us from getting to where we can go.
Okay.
So what 100 Black Men does is it helps educate the brothers. We even have there's a women's chapter also that's not as well known.
100 Black Women.
That we so our goal is to help from 6 years old to 40 years old to help them realize, hey, I can be better, and we bring them in, we educate them, we help them. If they need education, we have college grants. We have events. We have an event that we have coming up in the next 4 days, actually talking about COVID, because obviously as Black people, we're really scared of viruses because of the Tuskegee experiments and those things. So we have to overcome what America did back 50 years ago. We're not in the same environment, so the fear still exists within a lot of us.
Okay.
So as 100 Black Men, we have an event coming up that's going to help alleviate and talk about some of those fears and why the COVID vaccine is safe, it's effective, as any other flu vaccine has come out. So it's not, there's nothing 100%, so I can't claim that, but efficacy rate is good, it's safe, there's nothing to worry about, like they're not going to test on us to see if we're going to come down with, legs not going to fall off or nothing.
Right.
So that's important because a lot of us still have that fear.
That is definitely a fear factor for many of us, actually. So what is one of the exciting feelings that you get from being a member of 100 Black Men?
Helping other people, helping Black men, talking to Black men. For me, I've kind of always held myself to a certain standard. So when I'm talking to men of any background, we can always learn. So if I have anything I can give to someone, I feel that they can grasp and they can use that to better themselves, I have no problem giving that. And if they have something they can give to me to make me a better man, I'm receptive to that as well. So there's no point in life where you feel like you've learned everything. If you think you've learned everything, then you really don't know anything.
Okay.
And that's just how I look at it. I love learning, and I'm still learning a lot from the 100 Black Men. I have so my mentor in 100 Black Men is Larry Mosley. He's actually one of the men who started 100 Black Men. So he's kind of walking me through things. So he's my mentor. So that's my perspective on that particular point right there.
Okay. Derek, it says you're still watching. I'm going to click the bring on the camera if you don't respond and say something.
She's giving you the pressure, Derek. So come on.
That's right. Come on. So it is so amazing that when communities can come together and when men, no matter what your nationality is, can come together to help the little men.
Sure.
And another point that Lamar doesn't know is that in Los Angeles in my heyday, the 100 Black Men chapter of Los Angeles, I had a phenomenal opportunity to do 3 youth dinners with.
Right.
And we hosted that. It was amazing. My son was involved. And these young people had an opportunity to sit with power. I mean, Tuskegee Airmen, the firemen, police department. They had opportunities to sit with doctors, lawyers, and to talk to them and to get great information and not be afraid to ask a question to a man,
Absolutely.
And get some sound solid. So hats off to all of you, as we say, heels off, big stilettos. I haven't said that in a while. I used to say that all the time. Stilettos.
You should take them off.
I said, no.
Okay.
Just stilettos. That means, hey, hats off.
Okay. Don't take the stilettos. off.
We keep stilettos off. But we say that to you men out there that have been simply amazing. And those of you that are fathers, or those of you that are fathers to someone else, such as the mentorship program with 100 Black Men, because some of those men are not fathers naturally. They're surrogate fathers, and
like myself,
raising families. Yes, that's wonderful. So I am so grateful to have my Black History Month special edition of the Queens Divas and the King Dukes to visit us. And on Tuesday and Thursday, we will have our show. So every Thursday at 6 and every Tuesday at 4, through the month of February. Chime in, talk to us, tell us what's going on. Now, Rory Edwards has chimed in. He says, watching, getting ready next week. Good job to both of you. Thank you so much, Rory Edwards. You are kicking it off. Rory's going to be next Thursday.
Okay.
Motivational speaker and empowerment brother. And you two are going to meet and hobnob, and that's going to be 103 black men.
Hey, man. We keep on growing. Let's go. Let's go.
That'd be great. So with that being said, let's talk about relationships, which is the second subject that we were going to bring up for you as you all are slowly kind of chiming in. I understand that I normally come on at 4 and this is a little late for everybody. We do know you will see this later. So for those of you that are watching now that are actually watching the pre-recorded because you came in a little later, so let's talk about it with Minnie Foxx and Sir Lamar Stingley fixing up the clothes. That's how you got the sir, because he's always dynamite when he steps out. Just the fashion show walking down the street, if you ever seen one. But always a together brother that's going to have you in the know of real estate, relationships, 100 black men. Why we do what we do, how we do what we do, and why you should do what you should do the way we do, so that you could be all you can be when you are doing what you do.
Ask her to say that again. Yeah.
I can say that again, but I might try it a little later.
Yeah.
All right. So with that being said, let's talk about relationships. What is it that you think makes a phenomenal start? Not the later end. We're going to start from the beginning. The beginning of the relationship, when you meet that person and you're building. What is a phenomenal way to meet a young lady and be a gentleman about it in order to get to that third or fourth date?
I think the thing that makes a relationship start well, be well, and end well starts with communication.
Yes.
Communication. Number one. If you can't talk, you can't live off of sex, bro. So I'm just letting y'all know. So you have to have communication. Second is truthfulness. Because when you tell that first lie, you got to lie about that lie to remember that lie, and after a while you're going to run out of lies. You can't remember what you lied about, and you get caught. And the woman that you now might like a lot, she's not going to like you no more because she's finding out that you lied all these things. So just truth and communications to me is the foundation for 99% of relationships. If you can give that and be a gentleman, be a man about it, because a lot of times I think there's the art of being a gentleman is kind of a lost and dying art, unfortunately. And then women still do appreciate it if you're dating a woman. If she's a little less mature, sometimes she won't appreciate it. But if a woman has a strong mind, she's going to notice what you're doing, and she's going to appreciate it, because a lot of guys don't do that. And so when you do that, you separate yourself immediately from these other guys out there.
Yes. And ladies, it goes both ways. It goes both ways. To be accepted, appreciated, two different things, and to be loved and allow yourself to love, two different things. Because you can love somebody, but you don't allow them to love you. You know, that's a problem. Yeah. And to have someone to totally find your happiness for you, you're totally dependent on a person for your happiness. No. Right. You have to make yourself happy, whatever that is. And whatever that person brings into your life is extra. It's the extra extended side of love and relationship. Yes? Yes. So.
I was trying to find, but I can't find it.
Okay.
I had a little saying about love.
He was going to say something about love. But you can make it up. The camera's all yours. And lean that way a little bit.
Okay, I don't really like to make it up, but let me see if I can find it real quick here. See if I can find it before I get too quick here. Yeah.
Lamar's looking for his quote.
Yeah, I can't find it. So anyway, the quote was basically saying that when you give love with a pure heart, it's easy to receive that love from a pure heart. Yes, it's fearful. You're leaving yourself open for people to hurt you, or a woman to hurt you, or a man to hurt you. But if you don't give 100%, you'll never get 100%. So it's just, you have to, if it doesn't last, then you just have to take that pain and move on and learn from that lesson, and take that lesson as you move forward. Each time you get better, you'll become a better man. You'll choose better women, and that process just builds until you find the right woman, you're the right man, and then y'all are off in the races.
Interesting. Dwayne Johnson has a quote where he says, "There's two types of pain: the pain that changes your life, and the pain that makes your life." And it's interesting that, he would phrase it that way, because when you think about that, that's true. There's a couple other pains too. But the two main ones is either going to help you to grow and to move on, or it's going to devastate you so that you're stifled. And you don't know which way to go or what to do. And that's a really bad,
I think
pain.
we've all gone through those pains where you kind of had to take yourself back to ground level and rebuild. But I think if when you do that, you reflect on what you gave, what you lost, and what the reasons were. And if you were the cause, you'll learn, okay, I can't do that because that made me lose something that's important to me.
Exactly.
Now I'm hurting behind what I did. So, if it's something that they did to you, then what caused them to do what they did to me? Was it my fault? Was it their fault? Is there something I can do to prevent that for next time? So again, no matter what happens, you have to kind of reflect back and what caused that to occur. And that's the key to learning about anything. Any relationship, your job, real estate, anytime there's a failure, the only way to learn from that failure is to reflect on it and learn from that and move forward from it. So go ahead.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
And Dexter, I see that you chimed in again. Now, I'm assuming that that's okay to bring you on camera because you did it. And I'm really curious. I'm going to press this and see what happens. Bing. Their fans will be able to watch this video live unless we're going to add you and see if it actually works. I'm always curious about that. Nothing's happening.
He might
Can't say I didn't push the button. Well, with that being said, in a relationship, what do you think about never go to bed mad at each other? When people tell you that, what do you think about that?
So I have a couple things to say about that.
I knew he was. That's why I said it.
So in my household,
Uh-huh.
one of the things I this is not common. Not a lot of people believe in this, but this is just something I've always felt strong about. I don't really believe you should have a TV in the bedroom.
Okay.
You can have a TV in every room: the bathroom, the kitchen. The bedroom is the place for you and your partner to spend time with one another. When you want to watch TV, you got the living room, you got the family room, you got the den, whatever room you have, the backyard. That's TV time. That bedroom time, that's time for you two to tune in to one another. Now you need to have conversation with your partner. Let's. How was your day? How was your week? How was, what happened today? Kiss her, love her, hold her, rub her, booty, something. But that's what the bedroom. That's what the bedroom time is for. It's not.
Excuse me.
Not
my glasses.
Yeah, you want that red wine right now. Yeah. So that's important to me, that I feel that, when you have a TV in the bedroom, you've tuned out all day.
Okay.
Then you get in the bedroom and now y'all watch TV. You fall asleep. She falls asleep.
Right.
So what y'all do all day? Did you even acknowledge one another? So that's important to me. So I kind of lost track of that one, but yeah, that's important.
That's important.
Yeah.
I think that you shouldn't go to bed mad
There
at
you
each
go.
other.
That's the other thing.
And for me, and as he said, my household, his household, you had a disagreement.
Talk about it.
It's okay to disagree.
With
it's okay
respect,
to agree.
but you got to keep respect always.
Always.
When you start disrespecting your partner and your partner disrespects you, that's a road that you can't continue down, because when the respect is lost, the relationship's on its way out the door.
Yes.
So, yeah.
So, you don't go to bed mad at each other. It's okay to disagree. When you agree to disagree, you give each other space. You know what I mean? And if that means one goes in one room, one goes in the other to cool off, so that you can have time to think. Because when you're arguing at each other, you don't hear what one another's saying. And the arguing becomes screaming, and the screaming becomes yelling, and neither one of you heard what one another said. And in that comes the hurt, where you're saying things you really didn't mean to say, because you're saying it in the heat of the moment, and things come out, feelings get hurt, and a lot of times you shut the person down and, oh my God, it's done and over. So when you feel the heat coming, like they say, if you can't stand the heat, get out the kitchen.
Bring it down.
Bring it down. Turn that eye down so you're not burning up your french fries, you know what I'm saying? Take the time.
I have a different philosophy.
Okay, we'll take the time to hear one another. So when you feel that you're doing that, say, look, we both getting a little heated. Let's just take a break. I'm gonna have a soda. You go drink some water or something. Let's come back to this when we can sit and hear one another. And sometimes in the heat of things, it's not always an opportunity for you to say, okay, I gotta chill. What if you might just walk away because that's your makeup? You needed to walk away from it to cool down in order to come back. And if that's the case, then the other person needs to recognize and respect that that's how that person is taking their space. So if they do that, you running up behind them and grabbing on them, or still don't turn around, don't walk away from me, and you're doing that, you're egging it. So keep your egg yolk in this shell, because this shell is very fragile, and just give each other that space to come back full circle, listen to what one another had to say. Now you can decide what the change is going to be and how you're going to do it. The worst thing that could happen, really super far-fetched, is to walk out that door, something happens, and that was the last time you saw that person.
Here's my difference on that philosophy. You have an argument and you have communication. If you remember what I said earlier, a relationship that's built on communication goes further. And it sounds a little crazy, but I don't really argue with my women or women. Now, we can communicate, we can disagree, and we can have a conversation on that disagreement, but I don't let it get elevated, because then both of you are now not really listening. Now you're just trying to overtalk one another. It's harder said than done, but when you do it long enough, you practice long enough in your life, you'll get good at it, and you'll notice, damn, I had an argument with a woman in 5 years. So for me, when I see that there's something we disagree on, I'd rather have a conversation about it. Well, here's what I think. Okay, I got what you say, and we'll try to meet in the middle. And if that doesn't always happen, but okay, then, whatever you decide, you have to make it so that both of you feel you got a fair shake on it.
Right, exactly.
And then when that happens, there's no reason to argue. There's no reason to raise your voice. There's no reason to get disrespected or be disrespectful, because you've had communication. That's why I say no matter what, when you can communicate, that eliminates 95% of the problem.
That it does. And so you heard that from the woman's perspective and the man's perspective, but we were saying the same thing in a different language. Y'all got that?
Do you know what your love language is?
Did you write that down? Right? And it's really important. Now, how important do you think it is to get to know your mate, so that you know
100%.
when she's mad, when she's turned off? She knows when you're mad, when you're turned off, when you're happy. What are the points that make you excited, that make you feel good?
There's verbal communication and there's physical communication with love, hug, kisses, holding hands,
and
emotional communication. So you can communicate to somebody in a lot of different ways. So you don't always have to say it. You can show it. You can write it down. I like to write poems. I'm a poet, so I write poems to my woman so that I can give her something to make her smile. She can think about that. So whatever you do, but if you want to bring flowers, bring her a flower. It doesn't have to be Valentine's Day. It doesn't have to be her birthday. You was at work. You were thinking about her. Bring her a rose home. Say, hey, babe, I was just thinking about you, and I brought her a rose home. That makes her feel like, okay, I'm special every day, not just on my birthday and Valentine's Day and Christmas, of course.
Speaking of which, Valentine's Day is just around the corner. It's like a couple days from now. Yes. And young men out there, you have mothers, you still need to get your mom it doesn't have to be a card.
At least a card.
At least a little. They got rose candy now. They got candy in the little packages. They got the box candy with the C's candy.
Mom.
Yeah, call mom. You need to let mom know that she's loved, because a lot of times in the world is beating up on our mothers. You have a hard time. You come home. All you want to just have your family around you, because the world was beating up on you, and it's so nice that your son or daughter recognized you for Valentine's Day. And don't leave your dad out. The men are a little different, because it's a woman thing, kind of. But there are some men in the world that want to be recognized as a sweetheart, and it makes the man feel good.
We just want our love too.
You want a little love. You want a little love.
We don't need to give some gifts. We just want our love.
One of my favorite little Bitmojis is Mickey Mouse. It's my guy. I'm Minnie, Mickey Mouse kitty. Yeah. Okay, so Mickey Mouse, he's walking with his head down, and he's really sad. And the caption is all black behind him. And at the top it says, I just want somebody to tell me they love me. I thought it was the
Sometimes that's
cutest
all you
little
need.
thing. I had to copy, and paste that. But it's true. It doesn't matter who you are, a man or a woman, race, nationality, all that. None of that sees
You want to be
love.
appreciated.
Love is not a prejudice type of thing when you're involved in a relationship. It's the here and now. How are the two of you going to bond and make that relationship worthy and to be able to connect with each other on another level? It's really interesting when you can finish your mate sentences.
It is. I don't.
A little bit.
I don't do that.
But that's because, wait, you just wait until you around that relationship much longer. Speaking of that, let's give a shout out to your lady fair.
She might be watching. She's a businesswoman, so we don't really put it out there for the public.
Okay.
But she knows who she is. And,
Okay.
And those of us who are friends of both of ours, they know.
Okay, so Mystery Lady. I know your name, so I won't say it either. Mystery Lady. The Lady Fair of Lamar Stingley, Sir Lamar Stingley, from Let's Talk About It,
That
the Mini
queen.
Fox show. We're saying, hey girl, what's up? How you doing, Diva?
Hey, Queen.
Can't wait to meet you. He said Queen, that's right. Queen Diva. We're going to bring Queen Diva on the show because that's what we call it, Queen Diva. That's right.
She'd be a good host, as a matter of fact.
Yeah. We'll have some fun. Bring her on the show. We'll have some fun. No problem. How about that? Always got to make sure you give a shout out to the folks that you love. And y'all know who I love. Eminem. And it's been 35 years of being together, of knowing each other for many years. You know my story. Yeah, I'm wearing that ring. Look at that ring.
Bling, bling, bling.
Bam, 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 bam. Mm-hmm. It's real.
That's what's up.
Love you, Michael. I know that you are out there knocking it down, making sure the world is safe. Been out there in the world as one of the people that have been very important in giving and helping through COVID and being one of those frontline people,
Essential.
running one of the industry that he does with like 100 employees depending on him to make sure that he does so they can do in order to do so that their families can have and then families outside of that can have. And it's pretty amazing when you're in that type of position because you try to make sure that all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed because you have other people that you're responsible for, their lives and lifestyles and things. So, Mystery Lady, stilettos to you, girl. And Michael, I got you right here. Well, that's been our topic about relationships. If you're actually just tuning in or you are watching the pre-recorded show at this time, we have spoke about real estate and relationships and 100 men, and then we added 2 guys to it, so it's 103 men. You know, we gotta put that plug in there.
100 black.
Yes, yes. And the opportunities in life are always yours if you go for it, if you reach for it, and you make sure whatever it is you're doing, you keep your circle healthy. Keep your circle as amazing as you are, and success will find you. We get a lot of disappointments because we're trying so hard to do this or do that. We're trying so hard to appease someone else, to live someone else's dreams. Find your dreams, live your dreams. In the midst of that, the other person's dreams will come together for you if that's important to you. Many of us get lost and caught up in somebody else's dreams, and you forget about yourself, and before you know it, years have gone by, and the things that you wanted to do never came to light because you were busy trying to help somebody else do somebody else.
Set goals, not dreams, because you can't wake up from a goal.
Yes.
You wake up from dreams. That's my philosophy on that.
Exactly. And you got to do what? Lean up here. You got to, a little closer. Love the one in the mirror.
Love yourself. That's right.
That's right. Love yourself, the one in the mirror. So before we close out, I wanted to talk about the fact that this is Black History Month. Yes. And we have been talking about our Queen Divas who are on Tuesday at 4 o'clock and our King Dukes on Thursday at 6 o'clock only for the month of February. And then in March, we go back to our regular programming at 4 o'clock. Now, you've been watching me on Facebook Live, Mini Fox, but I also have a Facebook Mini Fox Talk Show. Go to that page and like the page, follow it, and send your friends over to that page as well. But I do the talk show live on Mini Fox. The industry is changing. We got a lot of things going on. I have to say on our celebrity tip, I'm so very proud of you, Weekend. Not this coming weekend, but Weekend. The amazing performance that you did at halftime for the Super Bowl. You are a phenomenal artist, and you did not allow circumstances to cause you to take a step back and disappear. You shined even bigger, and that audience at the Super Bowl was simply amazing. Whoever your choreographer was, and just everything they put together. Did you see it?
Oh yeah, for sure.
You were amazing, and you had two of my favorite colors, black and red.
I think the halftime show was better than the game.
Yes.
The game was pretty much a wash.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
I'm not really into the football,
Yeah.
but I love the Raiders. I love the Raiders because we're in Vegas, so I do the Raider thing, you know. But Weekend, I'm so very proud of you doing what you do. You are amazing. Please do not stop. You have inspired and motivated so many other upcoming artists to believe in themselves against the odds and to just rock the house and do what you did. I can't say it enough. You are amazing. I'm so very happy and very proud of you. And shame on the circumstances that happened that put you in the position that you were in. And hopefully the music world has learned a big lesson when it comes to what you experienced and what had happened to you. So Weekend, I love you. I love all your music. Keep it up. Now, Roxy Hines has checked in. She said, hey, Roxy. I was going to try to bring you on camera, but we tried that with Derek and it didn't work. So we're not going to do that. But relationships, real estate, Las Vegas, here in the know with Sir Lamar Stingley. Now, again, before we sign out, we want to talk about a moment in Black history that was heartwarming to Lamar and give him an opportunity to talk about that. Black history.
I will just say that there's a lot of Black history. We're making it today. We're making it tomorrow. If we're looking for an idol that I have different idols for different situations, but I'll say one that's Sidney Poitier is one. Of course, there's Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. I'm a Marine, so I'm kind of more leaning always towards Malcolm X because you got to stand up for yourself. I don't really believe in that turn the other cheek. I understand nonviolence, but sometimes if somebody hits you, you got to hit them back. But so those are the three that I probably follow the most. And I love not Angela. I'm about to say Maya Angelou. Jesus, forgive me. Yeah, and Maya Angelou because she's a poetess, and I like poem as well.
Okay.
So those are the four that I kind of tend to gravitate towards. Yeah.
Okay. And so, do you want to share a quote from one of them, or?
I write my own quotes.
Okay, so let's share one.
By
of
any
your
means
quotes.
necessary. Whatever you want, you got to go after it by any means necessary.
By any means necessary. Yes.
Yeah.
By any means necessary, allow your hope, faith, prayer, and your patience to embrace your thoughts and the amazement
And
that
your
you
motivation.
are. Oh, you know, he likes to throw stuff in. He don't know where I'm going, what I'm about to say. I'm going to let him run this show. Mystery lady, you got a lot on your hands. No. No. So, yes, hope, faith, prayer, and patience, I always say, is your power within. When we talk about hope, faith, and prayer, people do it, but then they don't have the patience. They go, oh, I prayed for this, and I hope for that. It didn't happen. You have to have the patience for everything to come in fruition. And it might be a year. It might be 2 years. But it'll always be right on time when you least expect it for that to happen. And accepting yourself and filling in all the gaps and doing all the things we do so that we can sit up and put our shoulders back and walk with our head high no matter what's happening in the world. My moment in Black history is all the moments in Black history. There's so many different ones to choose from. And without our forefathers and our amazing women, just amazing women in history before I was born and then some, that opened these doors in order for us to sit and do this. They opened the doors in order for you to get up and walk outside and feel okay that you're moving around in a world that's somewhat more safe than it was at a particular time when it wasn't safe for you to come out of the house. Those people that got out there and gave their lives and fought for us to vote and for us to have our freedom of speech and the various things that happen. So Black History Month for me is everybody that contribute to Black history, even though I have some very powerful favorite ones and all the popular ones that everybody knows, the ones they teach you in school. And then there's so many that you never hear about. And then they sprout somewhere and you go, oh wow, that happened? You know, who created the light bulb? What was this? What was that? You start hearing about things. So allow yourself to embrace those that walk through the doors before you, that paved the journey that you're walking now in order to be who you are in life. Hey, Harvey Perry, how are you? Thank you for checking in. So you were going to say something, Mama?
I was going to say one of the things, for me, Black history, my mother, my father, because my history came from them. So I have to acknowledge that without them, there is no Black history for me. So I have to give love to them as well because they allow me to stand here today and have this conversation with Minnie Foxx.
The love in the beginning, Mom, Dad. All right, so as you know, on Let's Talk About It with Minnie Foxx here on social media, I always give a toast to my guests to celebrate their life, the things that they are doing, and initially for Lamar, thank you so much for your service being in the Marines, you said, right?
Correct.
Oh, and it is amazing when you can sit next to someone who has walked through a door that you probably would never see, but because they walk through that door, it makes your life a little bit easier. Yes, cheers to Lamar. Here we go. Woo! So, with that being said, we're going to chime out here in just a moment, but I wanted to give you all an opportunity once again to talk about real estate, relationship, 100 Black men. Reach out to Mr. Lamar Stingley. Now I'm calling him Lamar Stingley, but you know he's Sir. And and if you watched the post, it was SIR, big letters, Sir. You know, see? Sir Lamar Stingley, real estate, entrepreneur, big brother, mentor, and the list goes on. And the mystery lady, I was teasing you, but you have a phenomenal gentleman, and I'm so proud that he's happy and he's with you. Because that's that additional smile. See that glow on the cheek right there? You thought it was the light. It's not. It's you doing that.
It's just oil. My face is oily right now.
All right, so we're going to chime out here in just a moment. And if you had anything else that you wanted to say, please do follow us on the Minnie Foxx Talk Show, social media, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. Follow us, Minnie Foxx, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. And see if you can say that, right? Check us out. Subscribe. We have some really amazing shows coming up this year. You know, I was pretty quiet in November and December because I've been working on some things. And once all of that comes into fruition, you all are going to be a very special part of my journey in multimedia world that I've always loved, and some very exciting shows that we are going to present to the world, and you're going to be a great part of it. I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for always being there, watching the show, sharing with your friends. Let's pump it up. Don't forget, if you have a special story to share, something to say, write the show, MinnieFoxXTalkShow@gmail.com, so we can share your special story. Any last comments, Lamar?
You can find me on all social media, Lamar Sells Vegas. Whatever it is you want to do, Lamar Sells, SELLS, Vegas, you'll see me. If you have any questions about 100 Black Men, real estate, relationships, those are all three things I feel I'm pretty knowledgeable on. Be my pleasure to extend a hand to you.
Wonderful.
Peace, love, and blessings.
And Lamar, where are they watching you?
Oh, where would you say?
Yeah, where are you right now?
In your home?
No. Where are you right now? Where are you? What are we?
Oh, Minnie Foxx Talk Show. I don't know if that's the question. Mini Foxx talk show, of course. I don't know. What
He
she's
needs some
looking
help.
for.
When you say, Lamar, where are you? Supposed to say, hey, let's talk about it
Oh,
with Mini
Jesus
Foxx.
Christ.
Social media. That's right. That's what we're doing. I'm going to put this mask over his mouth real quick. Here you go.
Wait,
Put
I
your
got
mask
my-
on.
well,
All right, y'all
well,
out there in social media land, know that we love you. LOVE. We love you to the ends of the earth. Please be careful out there in the industry. We're wrapping it down with Mr. Anthony Hamilton, our empowerment. Yeah, Anthony Hamilton. What's the name of this one? You know the name of this one?
Yeah, it's off the top of my head. I don't know. I can't.
He don't know. He's still thinking about what he said.
Yeah, you got me flushing with that first question. Yeah.
That's all right. So Anthony Hamilton is bringing it home, and we thank you for watching. Let's talk about it with Mini Foxx with my special guest, Sir Lamar Stingley, real estate, 100 black men. Ooh. Military,
Marine.
mentor,
Marine.
entrepreneur,
Man.
and the mystery ladies only man. How about that? All right, y'all. Thank you for checking in. We're out.
Hey, y'all.
Okay, so as you know, when we end, we go for the Kodak moment. Come a little closer. Photo op.